Guinea Pig Collective. All will be assimilated. Resistance is futile. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. That's true.
Bunch of slap-jawed faggots around here.
Everybody, what's going on? Sorry about the lateness. When everything goes wrong, and it gets about as bad as it could possibly be, and that's kind of what I got going on here. So we had some problems where I wound up oversleeping first to start off. So I was already running a little bit late to begin with, and then I go to turn my computer on, then all of a sudden my computer just will not turn on. I'm assuming what happened is the minute I turned it on, there was probably a Microsoft update that had started last night that I didn't notice, and it started working again and just kept my computer tied up for a lot longer than it should have. But I hope that you were all doing well on this exceptionally dreary-looking Monday out here in Florida, for us at least, and that you were having a good day. And what's going on, Jens?
Oh, well, we're so glad because me, Lunch Troll, and Luffy is God. We was worried. We was thinking, well, this ain't like Tommy. 5 minutes, maybe, because, everyone can have like that 5 minute delay. But yeah, when it got to 45 minutes, someone thought the worst anyway, and then the rumors spread, and then we were basically showing our respect a bit premeditated, but
I seen a few things as I was just getting everything working, and I seen building a statue. And
oh yeah, well, that's how much we love you.
Guys, I do appreciate that. So real quick, I'm going to say hi to some of the names I can see in the chat. Lurch Troll, what's going on, Lurch Troll? Papa Cotton was in the house. Time Prophet, what's up, Time Prophet? Super fan, Adam Shaw, and Jens, of course, right there. There you are, early in the chat as well. Let's see. I know I seen Luffy is God. I seen Luffy earlier when I'd looked. There's Luffy right there. Let's see what other Gap After Dark. What's going on, Gap After Dark? I hope you're doing well. Scrambles to Death Dealer. What is going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Soul Assassin in the house. LDG Free the Net. What's going on, man? 45 minutes late, sleeping, not knowing what's going on. Gonna cut back on this guinea pig vampire hours, Tommy. I know, right? Decepticons, Cave, Comics, and Toys. What's going on, man? The heat made you sick. I hear you. Yeah, it was that in the computer. Once I got out here and I'm trying to get everything going, because I actually had Trina reach out to me, and I'm like, yeah. She's like, is there anything I can do to help? Not unless you can get my computer running. There goes Trina right there lurking. What's going on, Trina? The computer just didn't want to turn on at that point. Like I said, I can only assume it was a Microsoft update, because every time Microsoft does an update on a computer, it fucks it up. So,
yeah, well, I was saying, in the chat and all, and I messaged you and all, I went to the Madhouse, group chat, and it wouldn't. Well, it would let me in, but I had to sign up to some blue sort of premium thing. Oh, well, not premium. I don't think that's a payout, but it was what sort of like, yeah.
Well, here I found out what's going on with that. So this is pretty interesting. So if you're in a group chat, all right, and the person who runs the group chat doesn't check, what these bastards at Twitter are doing is they are automatically taking whoever is the group chat owner, and they're forcing their settings to say verified users only. So if you're the person running the group chat and you don't check, your thing's going to get set to verified only, and nobody is going to be able to log in and say anything unless they're verified. Now, unfortunately, with the Madhouse chat, there's literally nothing I could do about it because that group chat is still under my old Twitter account, which is still banned from Twitter, and they refuse to listen to the appeal.
Right. Yeah. Well, as I say, like, it said, I can't remember exactly, but as you say, it wanted to verify me, and I was like, nah, I'm all right. Because I'm sick and tired of like sites saying, oh, yeah, we do, yeah. And then you do it all, and then it just takes you to a site that, like, you go, especially
I'm sorry, Jens. I'm sorry. I don't want to cut you off. I just wanted to let everybody know real quick what's going on, CJH. And guys, remember, this is open panel today. There's literally no topic. We're just hanging out, chatting with all you guys. And if you got anything to say, don't be shy. Grab the link, jump up on, and say hello with us. Go ahead, Jens.
Oh, no, I was just going to go on to a rant of why I don't like to have to verify stuff, because then it wants all your name and address form. So I just didn't know like what, and so I was like, no. That's why I thought they'd like mess around with your internet, because you went to see Sound of Freedom.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I thought they hacked you. I thought there was like, oh yeah, we're not letting anyone go on his link. We're not letting him start his stream up.
They were hating on me. I don't. You never know though. I mean, what's going on, Adam?
Hey, yes, you should be able to. Like, I'm not Blue Mar. Okay, so the one you're talking real quick, and I'm sorry, but I just want to stop you. I could click on it and ask you to do that. I deny it, and then it opens up the actual, so I could read it, like the where you used to put everything in the Madhouse.
Oh, well, I was denying it, and it was just coming up. I'm like, oh, and then I started to try to like click it off, by the little X in the.
I'm going to show you, Tommy. Are you okay if I share? Are you all right with me sharing, or?
Yeah, you can go ahead. Okay. I just want to mention that that did happen to me the other day. We're also joined by the CJH. What's up, CJH?
Hey,
it happened. It happened to me the other day. I was actually on my PC and I tried to get into one of these group chats and it said you need to be a verified user. I'm like, no, fuck you, no thanks. And it kept popping back up and popping back up. But when I went on my mobile, it didn't happen. I'm sorry, CJ.
See right here, it says right here it has to do that. As soon as I say no thanks, right here's I'm in there.
That's not what it did to me. And there's a couple people I know. When you hit no thanks, that window popped back up again right over top of the group chat.
I saw that happen to Vinny. He was showing us that last night. But I'm just letting you know. I mean, hopefully, if they get the bugs, because I'm not blue check mark. Twitter can suck my dick. I'm not.
Have you changed the settings?
Sticks. It's something that they're doing. It's Twitter.
Well, did you hear what CJ said? He just changed the settings. And CJ, you're probably talking about what I was talking about earlier, where the owner of the group chat is supposed to change it to not verified, because there is something where they were automatically turning on for group chat owners to only accept messages from verified users. Is that what you're mentioning?
Yeah. There's a bunch of different settings that you can choose, who you can message and all that stuff. Yeah.
The problem with the one group chat that I have there, it's under my old account that's banned on Twitter. So there's no settings for anybody.
Well, the worst part is, if we didn't already enable it, they shouldn't be enabling it on us, man. Like,
I
if we
agree.
didn't have it set that way. What the fuck, Elon? Come on, man. Like, get your shit together.
There's still a lot of problems with Twitter, and a lot of people talk about,
So, this is what I go into if so where it says direct messages, and then they have these control who can message you and all that.
That'd be great if Tommy could log into that account, but he can't even get into it. That's the problem. So they automatically did it to him with it not even. We didn't have blue check marks back when he had that account originally.
No, I've had that account for years.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, we're old school. We've had Twitter. We just didn't really. I never used it. I had it, but that's the thing. Like, you can't even get into it to do that. So, like, to me, they shouldn't be able to mess with your stuff in the first. If I want to add that so that only blue check marks can contact me in the group or whatever, okay, I get that. But I don't give a shit about that. I don't give a shit about Twitter. I'm just here to be with my friends. So, but yeah, man, it sucks in that situation. And then, like Tommy said, they won't even let him. They won't even listen to the stuff. So he has nothing. He can't even get in there.
Yeah, it looks like a bug. I think it's purposely being done by the people that are still in Twitter that literally can't stand the idea of free speech. These are the people that are all just, the progressive weirdos. And I think that they're doing this to try to tank Twitter completely, because they know if enough people were to see that over and over again, they're going to get pissed off. They're going to leave Twitter. And then the business model that Elon is trying to put in place for it is going to fail, and Twitter is just going to go under. Luffy is God. Don't listen to him, Elon. I still love you. Have any thoughts?
It's probably just another way to control what you can say, too.
Yeah. I think it's just another way of controlling people, innit? Like, oh, yeah. Give them some to, like, fill in so we get all your details. We know what you're doing. We know who you are. And we know what you're thinking now.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like that there's so many people that are still in Twitter that are, working behind the scenes that haven't really let on exactly who they are. So even when Elon was, cleaning house, I think that there's still people in there that are probably working to sabotage everything underneath him. I mean, then again, you how smart is Elon, because he hired somebody that works for the WEF.
Well, it's one of them where it's a lot of people are getting so much involved. Because didn't Elon say, get off Twitter? Did he say, like, get off Twitter? You're spending too much time on Twitter. Get off it. Get outside.
Well, I think that's happening. They're going to eventually ban all social media, I think.
Oh, I think that's one of the goals of, like, the organizations, of course, like the WEF. They want to be able to silence and shut everybody down. And I bet YouTube hates me even dancing around this subject. I'm doing it in a way, though, that I shouldn't even be on their radar. That's the funny thing. And that's usually not something I'm doing, because usually I'm getting in trouble with them left and right. But no, I think that there's a lot of people in that organization that they want to have everything shut down. The only kind of information you're going to receive is the information they're going to allow you to receive. And
yeah, well, they've got that like one where they're all like lefties are going to, but it's still crap. I forget even what it was called. But oh yeah, we're all off too, so and so.
Yeah, LDG. It was one of my first tweets and about the 45 billion info purchase. Soul Assassin, people don't like to be controlled. The second they try it, they'll lose the people. I agree. I agree. Yeah, good luck on that. Napster social media app is coming. Napster. That's a name I have not heard in a long time. Long time. Oh, what's going on, Time Prophet? Welcome back. Hope that you're doing well. Guys, anything that you wanted to discuss while we're up here?
It seems YouTube might be doing this thing where you have to buy ads to promote your YouTube channel.
Really?
Yeah, I've been seeing that on Twitter lately.
They're just so ridiculous with the ad shit. And, you know, don't get me wrong. I understand all these corporations are in it to make money. But they're getting paid for these ads to be put up to begin with.
But I do notice, though, have you noticed that there's no more of those weird bots in the chat?
What
Well,
chat?
Any chats?
Yeah,
The
sex
corn
bots.
bots. Yeah,
Like
they
YouTube?
don't
They're
show
still
up
on
anymore.
YouTube.
No, the porn bots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've still seen them on YouTube.
Really,
Not as
I haven't
much.
seen them. Yeah, I haven't seen any in a long time.
Yeah, go to different channels you don't normally go to. You'll see them. Just saying, and that's not a shot at like YouTube or saying go to a porn site. I'm just saying they're still out there. They're just not releasing them on us as much.
Yeah, that's what CJ was like say. What like to calm down? Probably because fucking like the people who are like rather getting paid to do it or thinking that there's some kind of social justice warrior by spamming people's chat. Maybe they've rather died through taking the shots and that, or died because they live in a fucking like leftist run city, or they've just thought, fuck it, it's pointless.
That's the other thing. So, like, Twitter has been getting a lot of those crypto bots as well.
What is a crypto bot? Sorry, I don't mean to sound. I don't know what you're talking about.
They try to scam you and all that. I've seen a couple of them take my Twitter.
I was serious, bro. I didn't know. I don't Twitter. I use it for self promotion, and we use the messaging and stuff. And on occasion, I'll share something. But I think Twitter's retarded. So that's just me, though. But no, thank you for. I'm serious. Like I thank you for sharing that because I didn't know. Like I was curious because I remember all the sex crap, you know, and the sex bots and stuff that we all got attacked with on YouTube. And I would say also, like all these platforms are already getting paid by the GOV anyway. Like they all have contracts, as we've all learned. So I mean, like they've made their money time and a half on everything, sadly. But yeah, I think it's more about impeding our freedom of speech. And you know, I mean, what's next? Are we going to have cocaine bots? You know, I mean,
Hunter Biden bots.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's like goodness gracious. And at the end of the day, like it can be entertaining and annoying. I get it, but it just proves that cyberly we are not secure one iota. If they can't even keep bots off of like, you know, these little platforms, how can you even think the rest of it's secure? Sorry, Tommy.
No. You're
Soul Assassin said what they were.
Oh, the cyber bots are the ones who add your profile to a list with others and say if you type the code, you'll get free coins. There's a whole bunch of shit like that going on. And yeah, what's going on, Steve? Time Prophet says Twitter is retarded. It never burns. Trina says the other day I'm added some list by crypto bot. Yeah. Me and Jens had a discussion on whether a guinea pig could bite through a barbed wire if he was hungry enough. I think it's very possible.
No, we didn't. He's like, no.
It's been months since Scramble said he's seen a porn bot.
It was more on where the guinea pigs have metal teeth, which they don't. So,
but they should.
The only
Well,
sad
they
thing
could
is
have-
they
they
used
could
to
have if
add
you
to
keep, like,
engagement.
teeth implant, like metal teeth implant, but
What's
they
that,
haven't.
CJ?
Oh, they used to add to the engagement just a little bit.
Right. Oh, look, we got a porn bot. Oh, look at that. That's just not good porn. Get rid of that. No.
Yeah.
It
And
did,
what's
though. It
going
did.
on? What's going on, Captain Fan the Nerd? What's up, man? Hope that you're doing well. No, I talked about that earlier, Time Prophet. There was problems where I actually overslept and then I couldn't get the computer to turn on. So the computer not turning on is really what just made it later than it ever should have been. And Napster comes back and Lars Ulrich will freak out.
Right.
That Lars Ulrich guy. I can't stand him. I got those slut bots, some generic profile pic of a tart. The profile has done one like or a comment, and that's it. Yeah, you get flooded with them. But like the ones that actually are trying to make you buy things or try to say, hey, you won something, they're everywhere now.
Well,
Oh,
you know,
Also
now
want your
there's that
info.
remember
thing
those
where like
emails?
they'll call family members and say that you went to prison or something, and then they've been doing that lately, like calling people.
See, I heard more about the AIs where people were getting your voice and stuff, and then
Yeah,
but that wasn't not like that. But yeah, that wasn't like off the internet. That was more the hackers that are doing that shit.
Yeah, but there's like, loads of scams, isn't there?
Yeah.
Like, it's just one of the things where they will try and do something like where someone who isn't like all that used to scamming procedures who thinks like the internet is just like as safe as possible will go on a site, and it's one of them where you've got to look at the HP sort of stuff, and like if it looks like it's registered to like sort of server or something that's like in your sort of country, but if it's out of your country, that's when like you don't want to give your bank details, and they do, and so they make it look like it's a sort of well organized sort of place and that, but yeah, it's not because I can. Yeah, and they do have voice sort of like robots now where they will sort of try and get your details and that, because one of them like said like to them to go to like the screen and all that sort of stuff, and you know, like if your computer's hacked and all, because like and they can read your screen, and so they can like see like what your passwords are and all that stuff, and so it's usually on sites that are illegal, and so they can put them because you're on an illegal site, and so if you download anything off that illegal site, there is a possibility of it having some kind of virus and that they can just scam your computer, can't they?
I'm sure AI is probably making hacking easier.
Yeah,
Oh,
Hold on 1 second, real quick. What's going on? Fun University jumped into the chat. It's good to see you. Time Prophet says if you take the floppy disk out and clean it, your internet runs faster. Yeah, thanks a lot, buddy. You son of a bitch. Keely Chow's in the house. What's going on, Keely Chow? Steve wants to know, he's talking about the people that make you buy things or try to make you buy things. Is Comic Skate and the Phantom Menace? Oh, King of the Squibs is in the house. What's going on, Squibs? Good to see you. I'm Not Creative, also in the house. What's going on? I'm Not Creative. I hope that you're doing well. Guys, thanks for being here. I'm sorry about being late. I'm sorry that this computer sucks. And I'm sorry somehow a pig did slightly oversleep. I don't know how it happened. I'm blaming the rest of the world for this nonsense. I'm blaming the pigs for keeping me up into the wee hours of the morning yelling for more lettuce. It's somebody else's fault, damn it.
It's the heat. The heat makes you sleepy.
It's true, though. It does. If it gets a little too warm, man, it'll just make you just pass the hell out, and you won't be able to get up. Yeah, right. Yeah, Lurch Troll. Yeah, funny thing is, old people used to be the main victims of online scammers, and it's young people. Since us older people remember when you were online in the 90s and early 2000s. Well, I mean, they get a lot of people too with that slick shit where it's like, oh, they send you something that they kind of know that you like because they're watching you. And so they send you something that they know you're going to like and that you're either going to click on or open up or something. And that's how they usually get you.
Usually porn, because, right?
Oh, is that how they got you, Jens?
Yeah, because, right, I didn't know fucking, like, Betty was only fucking half a mile away from me and she wanted sex straight away.
Right.
But apparently, no, she didn't. Apparently, it was just someone wanting to know my fucking bank details.
She just wanted your cash. She didn't want
be
that.
careful with
ass,
like
Jens.
putting out your resume and all that because
Yeah, but you should have seen how good looking Betty was.
Right.
Are you high?
Not yet.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Pass it around.
I'll get a screenshot of her if you want.
Yeah, I mean, Jens, you're right, though, because, I mean, think about it, guys. It's gone from you'll get a phone call and some asshole claiming to be an agent, and I always tell him, hi, I'm Frank Castle. Can my 45 help you? So, you know, that's my take on it. But, yeah, you'd see it where you'll get the phone calls and they attack the elderly. But it's gotten to the point where, yeah, like, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers a while back, if you remember, his account got hacked because his dumbass saw something on the phone and he clicked on it. And then when it wanted him to put in the password and information, he did, and his account got hacked. But
it was probably fucking news of what's her name? Fucking Scarlett Johansson. It'd been like, click here for fucking 3D nude fucking pictures of Scarlett Johansson, and he'd been like, oh yeah.
I actually remember, I mean, like, seriously though, because this is way back in the day, he got a message saying something about his account. He just went to log into the account based off the email, and of course it was a scam. And that's the thing, they've only gotten better. I mean, you'll see shit on Facebook, on Twitter. It says it's sponsored, but it ain't fucking sponsored. A good friend, I won't dox him, but he was up kind of late night, like most of us generally are, YouTubing, watching YouTube, having a good time. And it was a thing saying, hey, for like Ace Hardware, I'm going to use them for an example, get a free tool set, just pay the shipping. So he set up to do it. And of course, what happens after they take out that? Then they turn around and take out like another $100 for no reason because it was a scam. But you'll get that on anything. Hey, try these vitamins, just pay the shipping. And that's off fucking Facebook, by the way, too. Because I've done it and I got him. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, denied $100 coming out of your account. Yeah, because if I do that shit, I use a $5 credit card. There ain't nothing but $5 on it, mate. You know, you ain't going to get nothing. And that's how I keep the scammers. Like, don't fucking give out your bank account information, people. Go get a prepaid credit card, put $10 on that shit, and then do that. Because if they get the prepaid card, they can only take what's on that card. So that's my financial advice 101 in 2023. If you're going to do those kind of purchases online. Yeah. That's how I don't get hacked, you know, at least my bank.
Well, the best way not to get hacked is not to save any passwords, because that's how they do it mostly, is they'll just hack your phone by, I just say, like fucking downloading fucking 20 fucking like PlayStation 5s for like $100 or whatever, you know, some ridiculous deal where you're like, you should know it's too good to be true, but some people will be tempted. And some of them, you don't even have to put your bank details in, because it'll be like, as long as you like download, it's like, oh yeah, download this sort of like link to go by the whatever and that, and you open it and fucking yeah, they like stole your like information because they like send you an hack where your phone just basically tells the hacker everything, every detail that's on that phone. You know, he'll just like copy it sort of thing and then send it. And so if you've got like passwords saved, it'll have them somewhere where they'll just read it. Oh yeah, this is
yeah, you know, I think it's to the point too. If they have a way, like I know a lot of people talk about, they have the facial recognition and shit like that on their phone, but all they need is a picture of your fucking face, and then they're going to get into your phone. I mean, I like when a lot of these phones actually had the ID from like a fingertip or a thumb or something like that.
Yeah, your fingerprint ID.
Yeah, the fingerprint ID to open it. That I think was a lot better because that's not something that the average hacker is going to be able to just drum up really quickly. So
right. But scary, if you want to get real about all of it, man, look at it this way, right? Everything the phone can do, they already have all the fucking information on you anyway because they sell all our data and information. So you're fucked. If you don't want to get hacked, don't buy shit online. Period.
That's where I'm like worried, like DNA and all that. Like I'm sure they're cloning people. Like,
well, I mean, okay. Simply put, they what do you think was going on with the? Oh, hey, we have to test you for a certain thing, and they're ramming it in there. They didn't need to do all that, man. And if you get arrested, they take your DNA and oh, hey, let's do the DNA of your. I mean. Obviously, they're trying to figure something out, but I'm almost going to guarantee whatever it is, they already know what it is because this was everything we've lived through. To me, has been nothing but a test to see how far we will break, the test to see how communist America really is. You know, the sound of freedom. Oh, hey, let's not talk about that at all because it actually points out the real evil shit going on, and humanity won't be okay with that. Look what's happening. People aren't okay with it. I'm just saying. You know, more and more are coming out of the woodwork and going, hey, man, fuck this shit. And they're freaking out because they're smaller than we are.
Sound of Freedom is a shit film because...
Well, have you ever seen the movie Argo where they explain like the CIA is working within Hollywood as well?
Yeah, we most of us know all this. That's the thing, though. I mean, we've seen it. We know it. Now it's been exposed.
Yeah, well...
I think
the should be exposing more action
in the private chat
films.
Well, when it's about sex trafficking, it's really not going to be an action film, bro.
I know exactly. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, fuck, why did I bother watching this shit? I could have watched Taken much better. And get this right, Liam Neeson doesn't let the victim, well, one of the victims get raped and murdered, but the other one doesn't. Unlike,
you ever try to take your man who?
Just say Jim Caviezel, both of them get raped. Where was you, Jim? Where was you? Oh,
well, I mean, it is based on a true story, though. I mean, you know, and then again, that's the point. Our government knew this shit was going on and didn't back the people to get the shit taken care of when it should have been. That the pedophile rings and the sex trafficking is more important than, well, us. Obviously, look at what's happening in America. But, I mean, worldwide, though, man. This is where, like, everybody, to me, should be able to unite. This ain't about fucking soy movies. And, again, I love you, Jens, you know that. But to me, there's a more important message here. If you can't stand up and protect a fucking child from this shit and you're okay with sex trafficking, you and I got a fucking problem. Because you know what? Your race doesn't matter. Your religion doesn't matter. Your country doesn't fucking matter. On this, as a human being, you should be able to come together and say, this shit ain't right, and we're all going to come together. You want to unite? This is where we could unite humanity together and get rid of this shit.
Yeah. And Tim Ballard, that's the real dude, all right? Right? Yeah, Tim, next time, don't let the children get raped before you save them, because it doesn't make a fucking heartwarming film. Just saying, number 2, when I go see Sound of Freedom number 2, I want to see Tim Ballard's character save the kids before they get trafficked. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean that's kind of difficult. How can you save a kid before they get trafficked? Because you're not saving them. If they're not trafficked, you can't save them. God damn it, Jens. God damn it. You just went there, you son of a bitch.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
It's like you're homeless. Have you tried not being homeless?
All right, man. All right,
No.
then. Well,
Here's the
I know. I get the point Jens was trying to make, but the way he said it.
yeah,
for
before
an
we get
action
to
movie, but
the
yeah, that's as good as hey. If Neil Armstrong was the first person on the moon, did they send the film crew first to film it?
well,
Love you, Jens.
the studio.
Love you, brother.
But all I'm saying though is fucking Taken is a much better film.
I got you. I know what you're saying because I understand you. Hey, you're not having any shortages on beer, right?
No, all I'm
You
saying
still good
though
on Guinness? You still able to get it?
Well, I don't mind action films that are slow burn. So maybe number 2. Maybe they're saving all the action for number 2.
Right. Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. You're not. You're not having
They're
a
doing real
beer
good.
movie.
They'll make a number 2. Just hope Disney doesn't do it, because Disney does have the rights, and so they'll make him.
Disney has no rights on this film.
No, Disney sold them.
Oh,
They sold the rights because after they bought it out, and you know what? There's a lot of people. And what's going on? Tim's talk real quick.
Hey, Tim.
But there's a lot of people out there that have actually been making some misconceptions and wrong assertions about who owns this movie. Because some people were trying to say, "Oh, this was a Disney-made film," and these are the people that just want to freaking derail anybody going to see this because they know how many people actually hate Disney and they won't go watch something because it's just Disney. I'm one of those people. But unlike a lot of other people say they hate Disney and then still go watch them, I don't. But they kind of hope that they can get people like me that hate Disney by saying, "Oh, this is a Disney-made film," and it wasn't. This was made by Fox, and then soon as it was done, it was less than a year after it was done. Disney had actually purchased Fox, and the timing seems very funny. That just as this thing is done and they're getting ready to move into putting it out in theaters, that Disney buys Fox. I think that, we all think that, oh, well, they bought Fox to get, the IPs and stuff like that.
I figured.
Well, I think that was the main point because they're looking into selling them.
Well, I'm starting to think now one of the reasons is because they've been very adamant about this movie getting suppressed. Disney has. Yep. I think that this was not only let's get those IPs from Fox. I think it's let's get this now so we could stop this movie from being put out.
Do you remember how it was tied up for a minute? The sale, remember that, Tommy? I do.
They tied it up for years. They tied it up for years, man.
Yeah, they were probably doing reshoots for more action scenes,
just to make you happy.
Yeah. But probably someone said, "Oh no, we need to make this more realistic," and so they took more of the action scenes out. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm hoping. Because if I go see number 2 and it's the same hour before anything sort of remotely looks like it's going to kick off, even though a pedo gets rugby tackled from his fucking computer chair.
Well, hold on. Let's give CJH the chance because he had something to add to this as well.
I was gonna say, does anyone know if that movie The Crater was worked on before they bought Fox or not? Because that's actually original product, and I'm just curious whether or not.
Which movie?
The Crater, that movie about AI.
I've never seen it. I don't.
It actually looks really good. Unfortunately, it's owned by Disney because of Fox.
Well, but
I was just wondering if.
But see, Fox was still Fox prior. You have to figure out if it was after they acquired it and then they put the Disney stamp on it, so then it would come out by Disney. So if it's on Disney Plus, then yeah, it was made by Disney. Newer so than what's already on there now, like X-Men from the 90s and shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, pretty much anything they kept, they did not keep this movie. That was the thing. They bounced it, which was funny because that's how it finally got released.
Real quick, I wanted to say hi to Gap, and go ahead, Gap.
What's up? Hey, Jens, you want your money for nothing and your tricks for free?
Yeah.
Hey guys, what's up? I just couldn't help. Money for nothing, yeah.
$10% difference so that you can't sue us.
Oh my God. Yeah. Every day I look at the box office and I fucking laugh when Sound of Freedom beats that old Geritol bitch. God.
I mean, look, man, the saddest part is that they gave them money, taxpayer money, to do that film. I'd rather the Sound of Freedom got our taxpayer dollars to get done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, but it's gaining steam. I mean, it's the only movie I think I've ever seen in a long, long, long time that just is going, when they try to sabotage it, it's going up. It keeps on going up.
Dude. Like everybody sharing. Hey, man, I couldn't see it because of this and because of this. Oh, dude, yeah, it had like the platform that they've been silencing us and saying you can't say this. Well, it backfired because now it seems everybody wants to see it.
Yeah, and I saw it, and it's tough to watch, really. But you got.
In fact, it's quite easy to watch because there's no explicit sex scenes for a start.
Yeah, where the hell are you coming from?
What the hell is wrong with you, Jens?
No, I have seen that there is action films where obviously the women and that, but there's women that get raped and fucking murdered, and obviously it pisses off the main action star and that shit. But kids getting
hello, you can't go in with guns blazing, and you can't show kids getting diddlied. Who wants to see that, Jens?
Well, I'm just saying it appeal to the Netflix.
Are you drinking the equivalent to American Ripple?
He's drinking that Bud Light.
You drinking that Bud Light? You got the Mulvaney in you, right?
Look. All I'm saying
right there, Jens. Right there. Here's what I'm saying, Jens. Soul Assassin, I think, has it right. Jens, you need Jesus. You need Jesus.
Well, all I'm saying is I've seen worse sort of
but that's adult
rape scenes and that. Not with children, because as you say, they don't put on children. But I have seen worse scenes.
Wait a minute! You just contradicted what you just said.
But when you see a woman getting raped and murdered and that,
cocaine's a hell of a drug.
You don't watch enough action films because if you watch enough action then Cry of Freedom's pretty sort of not all that sort of hard to watch. When you're seeing women getting raped and murdered, obviously in action films and that, not snuff movies, but
I bet you've seen those too.
No,
you've never seen snuff movies. I lied.
No, but I'm just saying when you see action films, it is sort of nearly watching the snuff movie if it's done well, which some action films they do it well.
How do you know if you haven't seen a snuff film?
Because it makes me believe it could have been a snuff film that they did, but then you're thinking, well, no, it can't be because it got released. But there have been films like Deep Throat, where it has been like a snuff film but got released as a film. But anyway,
But
because if you watch action films, this is like a walk in the park. This is like, oh yeah, a bit of a
Jim's like
nasty
that
fucking
Cannibal Holocaust movie.
and that, but a walk in the park. Thing is, worse, they're taken because you see that bed fucking drugged up and that and half raped.
Jens, are
I
you
love
hoping
how
that?
you still think it's an action film? I mean, we know it's not an action film. That's the best part.
Jens, are you hoping for murder, mayhem, and rape in the Barbie movie and a snuff part in the Barbie movie?
No, I'm not watching that. Like that's for soy cunts, isn't it?
Hey, Ken snuffs out Barbie in the
Yeah,
movie.
Time Prophet also says, Jens, that is why I won't watch Indiana Jones. No explicit sex scenes with Phoebe Wallaby. You know what though? No, CJ, bring that back up. I know everybody kind of had everything rolling a little bit because it kind of leads into what you're talking about with Sound of Freedom. If you've seen that thing that CJ had up, here we go.
Oh yeah, I guess he's a Biden supporter.
so yeah, we got a TikToker here who was arrested after driving a free candy van to attract children. So apparently he was doing this, from what I was reading about it, that he was doing this kind of as a stunt, and they arrested him for attempting or faking committing a crime, is the way it was worded. Basically, they arrested him for committing a fake crime. So even though he was doing this to be a jackass because he was a TikToker like so many of them do, he got arrested anyway. And you know what? Personally, I know some people that, well, if he really wasn't doing it, maybe he shouldn't have been arrested. But you know what? If he was being this much of a dickhead, especially with all the shit that's coming out about all this stuff. And I know Vinny has talked about the production of this, Sound of Freedom for a long time. People like Action Kushner was talking about this shit back in 2017 in front of Congress. A lot of people have known about this for a long time. But if you're doing shit like this on purpose just to be an asshole, I think he probably should have got arrested for this crap. Screw him. You know what?
To be fair, most of the pranksters that are on YouTube probably should be.
Yeah, right.
Because they do a lot of shitty stuff.
No, I don't know if Gap just dropped out and lost his internet, or if he had enough.
His usually bounces quite a bit. Just for previous streams, I've had him on.
What's up, Underrated Destroyer? Hope you're doing well. There he is. He's back.
Yeah,
I got kicked out. My internet said something was freaky.
No, just lost signal. It happens. But yeah, I mean, I seen some of these other TikTokers done shit where they've just like walked into people's houses and done shit like that. You know what?
I dare you to walk in one of our houses, though, Tommy. I mean, you wouldn't get through the fucking door here. You already know that.
It'd be like a fucking roach motel. You'll check in, but you ain't going to check out.
That's right. I won't have to buy dog food for like a while, man. Like, don't worry.
Maybe he should have free Bitcoin on his pen. He does look like one of them. He looks like a creepy son of a bitch.
Fuck yeah.
There's a lot of weirdos out there, and you know what? At the very least, you're looking at something, considering like everything that's coming out, bad taste. At the very least, you're looking at something that's done extremely bad taste. And you know what? Even faking that kind of shit, I don't think at any point is okay. It's not okay, because here's the problem, and this is the biggest problem I see with something like this, is somebody getting away with it. The minute you do something, you just say, oh, it's just a prank. It's a prank. Well, you know what? The people that are really doing that shit, now they're going to be going out there saying, oh, it's just a prank. It's just a prank. And they're going to get away with it. And then they are actually going to start taking kids. And that's the biggest problem with something like that. Because it's the same thing of like if you make a threat saying that you're going to shoot somebody for no reason at all. If you just say, hey, I'm going to shoot you in the face or something like that, and then try to say, hey, it's just a prank. It's just a prank. Well, what about the person say, I'm going to shoot you in the face, and they come back and they do it? That's why they have certain laws against you just making
premeditated. So Tommy, I'm going to shoot you in the face with a super soaker, and they could turn around and if something happened, they could come after me because on here I said I was going to shoot you in the face with a super soaker, and say, well, that was premeditated, even though we're in completely different fucking states.
It's just a prank, bro.
He does look like a pedo, though. Oh, oops. I mean, a widow.
As soon as you put him on there, I was waiting for him to find out, like, oh, he was doing it as a prank, and then they found, kids locked in his closet and shit.
Right? I hear you, Scrambles. If someone drove a free candy van down my street, I would drag them out of the van and beat their ass. I would whoop the living shit out of them. I got nothing better to do with my time.
Did you see that they made up another number how old the universe is?
Oh, really?
How old are we now?
Let me see. I liked it. It was so the new study claims age of universe is estimated to be 26.7 billion years old, not 13.7.
So we just had it wrong this whole time, Okay. And is this with some new bullshit theory they pulled out of their ass, just like all the other crap we're saying?
The more they go on, the more I think the religious people aren't as batshit crazy as we thought.
What's up, another monster? What's up, y'all? Relax, I'm here now. Yeah, I hear you guys, man. I hear you. Sleep with a 45-70. Also 9mm. Time Prophet says he's going to shoot somebody with a water pistol if they come in his house.
I mean, Tommy, we wouldn't even have to release the firearms. It's just let the hounds have them, man. I don't have to, if you get past the army of dogs, then you can choose the caliper that I end you with. Like they were saying, I'll give you the choice. I mean, I'll finish you off, no problem. But I don't think you're going to make it past the dogs. There are 30 of them. They'll eat you. So, yeah.
Yeah,
according to the Bible, it's 6,000 years.
Well, I've gotten to discussions with people that were hardcore Bible thumpers, and look, it's not that I'm saying I have anything against religion. I do have a problem with organized religion because I don't trust most of those people. Because look at all the shit that's just really screwed up in the Catholic Church, the Protestant churches, all those organized places, they're all in it for money. And you can't tell me they're not, because all those people are doing very well compared to most of us. Every single one of them. Look at the Vatican. The Vatican is loaded with freaking money. A lot of them are a bunch of crooks.
Doesn't the Bible argue against organized religion anyway?
Yeah, you're supposed to be able to praise God or love God in your way. You don't need a church for it. According to, I think it even says in the original Old Testament part of the Bible that you are your own church.
Yeah, and you're not supposed to idolize stuff. So in the stuff in the church idolizing.
Yep.
I
mean, at the end of the day, the word of God, no matter how it's supposed to be free, God doesn't need money. You know what I mean? And I get it. And now here's the reverse of that. A friend of mine that is a youth pastor, he went to college here in town, and it was a Catholic college, but he got to do his ministry stuff at the church, which was a local church too. The school didn't pay the church for anything. And literally, that's how that church stayed open, was because of the ties and everything. That's what helped keep it going. And then because the school the church let the school do that, they got a little bit of funds from the school. But I mean, if it weren't for that, that church would have been gone. And my friend wouldn't have got to where he is now. You know what I mean? So it is kind of one of the, but I am not big I'm with you on that. We should all be able to do what we're doing right now and do it and argue with Jens that he's still wrong. But
what about?
The way I see it is science has never proven he does or doesn't exist. So it's like,
and I mean, we're gonna be here for less than like 80 years. Does it really fucking matter? Like, is it really that? Is that really what you need to worry? Like, you know, I got other things I need to take care of, worrying about how old the universe really is, or if science is, it isn't. And if God is real, here's the simplest thing. Maybe this is the easiest way. No matter what, none of us would be here right now without the shit being how it was anyway. So.
Not Luffy is God. If you don't like organized religion, bow to me. The last thing I'll be is organized. Yeah, obviously I'm in that same boat. I'm usually actually like at least semi-organized to a degree. But yeah, not always. Sometimes we all have bad days. Depends on church. Organized religion can be both a force for good or bad. Yeah. And as far as the topic of how old the planet is and how they say, oh, well, it's only here when it was created and blah 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 blah. Well, if you look at the Old Testament once again, and you look there were creatures on the planet, and God didn't like it. God destroys it, and then God creates it anew with man. So what's to say in that time frame that God wasn't already working on the planet for millions or billions of years? Who can say for certain? Can you really say for certain? How long
who's
is
to
a
say
day?
that we didn't destroy ourselves before? I mean, we're doing it now.
Right.
What does this mean if you think this way? Who created the creator that created the creator that created the creator? You know,
who made who? Who made you? Who made who? Ain't nobody told you. Who made who? Who made you? If you believe he made you, who made who?
Yeah. That's basically what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
And then you look at other things as far as organized religion, the way it's set up. They tell you, there's no such thing as demigods. There's no such thing as like the Greek mythology gods and everything like that, because there are no such thing as lesser gods. And I'm like, okay, well, if you go back to your own Bible, if you want to preach that to me, it literally says in there, God says, do not take any other gods before me.
Yeah.
He says, don't worship false gods and don't take any other gods before me. That is saying that there are other gods out there. That's basically what it's saying. So that means there must be lesser gods. And I said, well, what do you call angels? Angels are more than man, but less than God. Wouldn't it make them a lesser god as well?
Now I think that's sort of like just don't like worship any false gods, and
right,
that, where everyone's a false god, apart from like someone who's really masculine, who watched a lot of masculine action. And when it came to watching Cry of Freedom, there was nothing I hadn't seen before, because in Rambo 4, it's basically the same sort of scene.
Worship Rambo as like Lord and Savior.
Well, it's sort of like scene exactly the same, where a little boy's getting like strokes, and then like you see him walk into the fucking like room.
Oh my god, are we on this again?
Shelley, and I think you even see like it's worse in Rambo 4 than it is in Cry of Freedom and that. And then in The Crow, the rape scene and murder scene of his wife at the beginning was so dramatic and upsetting. I think the test audience like fucking fingered, and they had to cut.
But Jens, did Rambo ever pleasure himself on screen?
What? Who's putting themselves on strings?
Was Rambo jacking off in the movie? I mean, I don't know.
Well, we don't know what he was doing behind the scenes when he was reloading. Yeah, Trina. Yeah, there are a lot of problems with translations, absolutely, but there's also a lot of things that a lot of people just overlook. I mean, you look in there, they have I forget which one it was, because I read through it. I read through things. I do my research. You know what I mean? So there was actually one in there where it talks about God saying that you can have slaves. And if you free your slave and your slave comes back, you're supposed to cut its ear off, and it's never allowed to leave again. So according to the old the old part of the Bible, you can have a slave. So yeah, I'm making too much sense. YouTube won't like it. I know, right?
Well,
They
didn't they
get,
prove
you're
the whole
religious
splitting,
something or other,
splitting
take
the
your
rock?
ism.
No, what was that, CJ?
Didn't they prove the whole splitting the rock because they found like a rock high up in the mountains that could have had like water?
That I'm not sure about.
Where,
I mean, we've got civilizations built on civilizations built on civilizations. So when we talk about the Bible time stuff and what could be and might be, again, you might as well go watch Indiana Jones 5.
Time prophet. I understand. Yeah, he doesn't believe in God, and I mean that's his right to not believe in it. That's cool.
Right.
And he's not getting offended. I'm not running away like some of the weirdos do from the the liberal hive mind left that are supposedly so progressive and they're so tolerant. But he said he don't believe in God, but he has read half the Bible.
Yeah, I mean,
and I was going to say Solar Warren comment about isn't Rambo 4 dedicated to the people of Afghanistan? No, that was Rambo 3.
I'm going to come to England to party with whatever you're on, Jens. I just love
Right.
it.
Like we want a week's
Yeah. Can do.
Yeah, Soul Assassin, absolutely they are. They are finding tons of different locations. Göbekli Tempe is one of them.
I mean, it's quite possible religion and science go hand to hand too.
That's true. I'm not saying I don't believe, but I just have a lot of questions because, the Bible's interpretation of man, especially the later versions, because now they keep on changing it,
Yeah.
Yeah, the original was you got to be masculine as fuck. You got to go around killing daft cunts and fucking.
You got to have cum cutters, abs and stuff. You got to be ripped and tearing it up. Yeah, only
imagine if Zack Snyder directed a Bible movie.
He did?
Jesus. No, you said imagine. It would be all slow motion. They would focus in on Jesus flipping the table, and it'd be all in slow motion with like abs and everything. My father's house.
Christians.
I'll tell you what. I've said this to a few people, and they're like, well, that is an interesting take in it. And then I said, Jesus was the first punk rocker because he was rebelling against authority. I never thought of it like that. That makes Jesus kind of cool. See? There's always something good to take out of everything.
Now, what do you say about people who say there's demons and stuff? Is that that real? Or
I mean, depends who you talk to.
Well, if you believe in God, you believe in Satan. So, of course, there's good and evil.
Solar Warden, listen unto me, be masculine as fuck. Jens 316.
We need a T-shirt that says Jens 316.
Right? Yeah.
Just got a picture of Rambo on the cover.
Yeah, Rambo
right?
on the.
I must be masculine as fuck.
Trina says, yeah, I'm a believer as well. My beliefs aren't 100% in line with the traditional Christianity, though. Yeah, and I think that's what you do. You could take from it what you will. You could sit there and you could be the person that follows it right to the letter, or you could be the person that just, if you believe, you can believe in it your way. There's no rules that say you have to follow organized religion and give them your money if you don't believe in what their cause is.
That's
now,
true.
if you do believe in it, good for you. If you want to give money to the church, that's completely on you. And I know that there are some churches that actually do good, but for the bulk of them, I don't really trust them.
Well, wasn't
You got a Starbucks in the lobby.
reincarnation
I got a problem with your.
wasn't reincarnation originally part of it, and then they took it out?
Yeah.
No, I'm
Now-
not sure exactly what was in the Hebrew version and the Middle Eastern version, the Quran, because both of those are. It's kind of funny. So the Jewish version, the Muslim version, and the early Christian version of the Old Testament, they're very similar in most aspects. They've just had some slight changes. But they're all very similar, and they have a lot of things in there that, of course, were omitted over the years. Because when you had when the Romans got together, what was that, Mycenae or whatever, and they decided what was going to be in the Bible officially at that point, they cut a whole bunch of shit out. So what was in the original works? Nobody is really going to know because a lot of that shit was destroyed. Some of it was probably in Alexandria. Some of it was in the dead, near the Dead Sea, buried in caves.
Well, one of the commandments would have been, if you're male, only watch masculine action. Unless you're female, don't watch any female-led action. Obviously, at that time, they didn't know about male and female action. It was all like, just do what you like on it. But
yeah, when Gnosticism comes in, yeah.
Unless you believe that ancient aliens foolishness, where like the gods are aliens.
Yeah, Shag the monkey started producing humans.
I read 5 pages of Quran before I realized it was Quran. And Judas having a gospel. Yeah. I think they even said that they found something in the Dead Sea Scrolls that was supposed to be one for Thomas, Mary Magdalene, and a few other people.
Watch out! We'll eventually find out that Tom Cruise was right all along.
Negative.
Oh my god!
Now, if you said was an alien the whole time, I'd have gave it to you. But right? No.
Yeah, some of those people that believe in the Scientology stuff, man, they are some weird birds. I'm sorry, they are some strange son of a bitches.
The movie Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah, Eyes Wide Shut.
Wow, those who order Buffy CDs.
Woe to those who order Buffy DVDs, for he is not masculine and should be cast out. Yeah, it's 3:17.
Shall be cast out and never let back into a fucking masculine DVD shop again.
You don't believe in Anunnaki and how they created humans? Explains. I'm sorry. Go ahead, CJ.
Have you ever seen that South Park episode where they explain what Scientologists actually believe?
Yeah, that was pretty funny, and it's not too far off from the truth. It's almost dead on. Yeah. God, how did we wind up down this rabbit hole?
Yen's action movies. Yen's.
It's all Yen's. I don't know how, but somehow it's Yen's.
Yeah, it went from Sound of Freedom to Cry of Freedom to Action of Freedom.
Yeah. Well,
the Yen's 360.
I'd say it's a good film, but it could have been better.
Yeah.
Yeah. For a start,
it's always possible that we misinterpret it too. Like the end times that's in the Bible could be suggesting like nuclear war.
Yeah,
well, I've heard a lot of people suggest that what they say is the Armageddon and everything that was actually supposed to be for Roman times.
Mm-hmm.
That they were predicting the end of Roman times, and that very well could have been. You know, I mean, you figure when some of these people were writing this stuff, they were thinking about the times that they were in, and how those times would end and how those times would change. So, who knows? Who knows? Maybe they didn't have a lot of foresight when they were writing some of this stuff.
Crazy how the Simpsons can predict all that stuff, though.
Well, I mean, because even if they got a message from a higher power, who's to say that they didn't put their spin on it? Because you're talking about man, and as everybody knows, man is fallible. So man is still writing it, and man's touch is all over that. Who knows how much of the original message has been changed?
We should all just study the Simpsons for what's actually going to happen.
Except for they've already said that it's an AI program that they've ran to give them ideas on things to run. So I mean, you know, it's kind of like that's why it was, you know, like the secret's out on that. They've been running AIs for decades. They've just recently started coming out and telling everybody. That's the fucked up part. But like a lot of us already kind of figured it out.
Yeah, I've heard this one before, Trina. She said Armageddon is a mistranslation. It's a place that was once called Megiddo. Yeah, that was the one that was completely and utterly annihilated. I was actually watching a special on that. Like it was pretty interesting.
How many times has Nostradamus been correct?
Like 100% correct?
Well, what percentage?
It's probably like 40.
Yeah, it's pretty low because he's been very vague and everything, and why he's come close to a lot of that stuff, it was never exact. Not even close. And I think if you want to read into something, you can read into something and you can pull out the information you want and say, this is it for sure, but that's your interpretation. Somebody else reading that might get a completely different interpretation of what he was saying.
True.
And who knows for sure, because when he wrote those the quatrains, he wrote them in so many different languages, there could have been mistranslations of what he said. And they've actually proven that over the years, that there were a lot of mistranslations.
Yeah, that's true. My dad used to read
Kind of like
Ron
how,
L. Hubbard.
was it the 4chan created the whole flat earth thing?
Oh,
and then
yeah.
now people are like, flat earth.
Yeah, you see that? Tom Cruise makes a good movie, and then you believe in Scientology. That's all it took.
Yeah, I hear you. Lurch Stroll's talking about Muhammad. Yeah. He was one of those diddlers. He was a Chester. Chester the molester. All the movies.
I mean, look at the decades we've lived through and the things we've seen come to an end. Most of us have, you know, from reel to reel, 8-track, cassette, album, you know, CD, DVD, Blu-ray, down to digital. I mean, we've seen a lot of shit go extinct in our time frame. Just the you know, 80 years that I'm speaking of on the planet for those of us in that age range, you know. I mean, it's pretty fucked up when you think about it.
80
well, I
years.
think we had technology like way back. We probably had like computer stuff, but it probably was, you know, just, I don't know, less as advanced.
Yeah,
we got another one. You know, the fact that I haven't, you know, I'm going to have to do one just because we've had a few really good zingers here from Solar Warden. We're going to play this for Solar Warden and for Soul Assassin. Everybody has been on the Jens kick right now. So
coming up, creepy.
Drive-by. Nostradamus says, "Be a man, you wankers."
Just series of
it's your fan wankers. Because that's all it's going to happen if you're not a man.
Series of
That's
clips
it. Women don't want to go with other women.
Everything that
if they
Jen
do,
says.
they'll go with a real woman.
Well, you know, we got the ultimate clip on everything Jens says, CJ. It's his outro, so we'll see that when we're getting ready to wind it down. Jens never escapes without his outro. What's going on, Curtis, man? I hope that you're doing well. What you got there, Time Prophet? When people say that aliens are the ones that created computers, we're taking away the achievements of man. You know what? It is really funny though when they were talking about Area 51, and you got oh God, why am I blanking on his name? He was out there talking about how they had alien ships, and I can't think of his name right off the top of my head for some reason.
No, that shit is in Antarctica where you can't, where it's
Oh,
like illegal
yep.
to fly over.
Yep.
Well, we were talking about that on a couple other streams too, how they had a map of the coastline of Antarctica while it was still under ice and nobody even really knew it existed. So there's a lot of strange things in this world that people overlook or just don't want to hear because it goes against their personal beliefs.
Well,
And
what
if you
about the
can't look-
giants? You ever hear the lore
Well,
of the
if
giants?
you're a God-fearing man, it would make sense though when we're talking demons and angels that fell. So I mean, why wouldn't it be possible?
Well, you know what? The talk about some of that stuff, Time Prophet, I'll get back to you in a second, was Tree Roxanne often get in arguments with Christians claim that in the end, some people will not die and will be called up into heaven. I basically, that calls God a liar. The one thing about like mankind and some of the things that we've created, we already know. Yeah, Bob Lazar, thank you, Soul Assassin. Yeah, Bob Lazar was talking about all that stuff, and he said as soon as they had those down alien ships, we started seeing like great advances in technology again. But if you look back in ancient times, they already had ancient computers. I mean, shit, they were,
Well,
in
that
ancient
thing
Greece,
that,
they were building almost like mechanical creatures.
well, that
What-
thing
what-
that Indiana Jones, the dial turd, was based off of is a real thing they found in the ocean.
The Antikythera device.
Yeah.
And they're still not 100% sure exactly what it was. I mean, some people say it was like a calendar device. Some people say it was a few other things, but it was definitely mechanical in nature, and it had gears and everything that should not have existed in that time if you go by, typical archaeological thinking. So where did all that technology come from, and where did it go? Yeah, there it is. And it's got all these fine little gears and dials and everything in there. And it should not have existed. It shouldn't have, but it did. All men are evil and must die. Uh-oh. We lost Gap again. Antarctica has a lot of crazy stuff. I know. Yeah, you get Papa Cotton talking about that, and it looks like pyramids under the ice in Antarctica.
Oh, I can answer that one. Unless you're a real masculine man, and God's like, fuck yeah, you watch a lot of masculine action. You're not afraid to watch fucking Sound of Freedom. Then yeah, fucking you won't want to fear him.
Oh, I mean, there's
like,
another way.
Oh, you haven't even seen Sound of Freedom because you've been too busy watching fucking Buffy DVDs. Then
Hey. So I would say there is technically an explanation for that. So if you look at a small child, the small child may love its parent, but it also fears the parent at least they used to. They used to fear the parent pissing the parent off because you're going to get your ass whooped. So there's a little bit of love and fear in there. So technically, you could look at it that way.
Yeah, watching Venom at Buffy DVDs, you're going to bed with no supper. And you're going to be watching... No, you're going to be watching fucking Rambo 4, then going to bed with no supper.
Yeah, the Owl in the original Clash of the Titans. I don't know if they had anything quite like that. But they did have like moving... figurines of like animals and stuff like that were metal. Now, granted, they weren't like fully automated. They did move, and I think they could go in circles or something like that, or they could turn their heads or something like that. It wasn't like super crazy, like an actual here goes with Robbie the robot walking down the amphitheater or anything. But no, these things did move, and it's pretty amazing stuff to think about because, like I said, wasn't supposed to exist in that time. They weren't supposed to have that ability. But they also had the ability to produce electrical current, which most people don't talk about.
Unless you don't think it would be like time travel. Do you think eventually we'll figure that out?
I
No,
think,
it's
I think, I
impossible.
think, I don't know. I think anything is possible. I mean, I think there's a lot of smart minds out there. I think they will, but then again, you're running into the burden of the damage that can be caused to reality itself if they learn that, because there's going to be people messing with reality and time. There would be.
Oh yeah, they would want to change history.
Well, look at it this way. Time travel does exist. When you reminisce of things you've lived through, you're literally going back in the past and remembering them and sharing them with your friends. So time travel already exists, man.
Yeah. That's how. Well, it's timeless. The memories are timeless.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Say someone
We-
wants to go through
yeah.
those wormholes and then comes back to Earth, and then it's like ancient times.
I think the wormholes crush the shit or whatever goes through them. So, like, I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, they were making a lot of stuff. I mean, you look at like the what they call the Baghdad batteries, and they've been speculating what exactly those things were used for in the current charge, and they think it was for plating gold onto objects, but they're not 100% sure. They have no clue exactly. I mean, they could just kind of guess.
What
But I mean,
about like the images of dinosaurs before we even discovered dinosaurs?
yeah. Oh Jesus! There's another one of those places somewhere out in the Middle East that was buried for God knows how many thousands of years, and it's got like dinosaur looking creatures on it. And down in South America, on some of the temples down there, the Mayans and Aztecs and Peruvians and everything, they have what looks like dinosaurs down there, and it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be because they were supposedly gone by then.
Same with like images of astronauts. It's like, or helicopters. It's like, where did they get those?
Now, what's the one with the little one that looks like a little ship that they made?
I don't know.
I forget what that one was from, but it looks like it looks like an airplane. It's got wings. It's got the rear stabilizing wings and everything. And they actually mocked this thing up on one of those shows, and the thing can actually fly. Once they put in the missing piece, the thing would fly. It was just like an airplane. It was, and people were trying to say it was a representation of a bird. It doesn't look anything like a bird, not even in the least.
Assassin's comment. It's like, you got a guinea pig ready to go for the time travel.
Oh, we're waiting to bring back the great guinea pig empire. Oh man,
It's gonna be like that Mark Wahlberg Planet of the Apes movie where we come back and it's just a bunch of guinea pigs.
right? That sounds like the perfect world to me. Because I'll tell you what, they just want food. They just want food. That's all they want. They don't want the rest of this nonsense.
Get your filthy paws off me.
They got beat for that. Yeah. My dad freaking, God damn it, that guy. Holy shit, man! When he got mad, holy crap, man, he beat me with my damn Star Wars freaking stormtrooper gun, and that thing hurt like hell. They made toys tough back then.
Yeah.
That was so the parents could beat us with them.
I swear, I think it was sometimes. Oh man, yeah, right. What else? Did I miss anything else? I think I'm almost caught. I'm not even close to being caught up with the chat. Holy crap.
What was that mermaid skeleton they found wash up the other day in like Australia?
No, that's odd.
Is this mermaid? Get some bones. I can see. You like it.
Well, just like how before they had different bones and shit, thinking it all went together and it didn't. And then once they finally figured out it wasn't right, they had to fix it. So, but yeah, I was gonna say, I just talked to a buddy of mine in Australia like a little bit ago, and that didn't even make their news. So that's why I figured that's probably just horse shit.
Well, it was probably just an art piece that washed up or something.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? There's a lot of things that wash up, and then a lot of things. You know what? And you can't trust governments because governments are always doing experimentations. I know at one point Russia was actually experimenting with gorillas and shit, and trying to create like a gorilla hybrid soldier. So I mean, there's a lot of weird shit going on.
That could be a thing where like maybe that was a government experiment.
It's a very good possibility. You can't trust governments, man. I always say don't trust suits. Lurch Troll, there are at least 3 historical accounts of real knights who slayed dragons. What the hell did they slay? That's a good question. Who knows? Were they really dragons, as per se we know them, or were they some other type of creature that we hunted into existence, out of existence? I mean, you look what the Maori did on that island. They had that freaking big 2-legged bird. It wasn't an ostrich. It was something else. And they hunted that thing out of existence into extinction. Yeah,
I think I will say I think the dragon is a metaphor and that for like evil.
Ancient Indian temples with carvings of those dinosaur spikes on the back. Yeah, I was talking about that ever so briefly.
Or the Egyptians with the big heads.
Mm-hmm. The elongated skulls. I mean, they got something that looks like a light bulb in the one temple. What the hell is that?
Well, have you ever heard that light bulb that is still on after like it's from the early 1900s?
No. Yeah, Curtis. The wooden bird. Yep. And that's what they claim. It looks like a bird, but it doesn't even look like a bird at all. Then there's also this like pin that they got from somewhere down South America, like the Aztecs or the Mayans or something like that. It's a little metal thing, but it looks nothing like a bird at all. This thing looks like some kind of freaking airplane or something. It's like a little pendant. What's up, Parrot Head? What?
Oh, you see, Solar Warden. What are you saying?
It wouldn't let me share it because it wanted me to subscribe.
Yeah, keep going. Well.
Yeah. Well, but they actually said that there was a part on there that was missing, Curtis, because they were saying that you could see that there was actually a section where that part was missing. So they just reattached the part that was missing off the original model. Yeah, that was Russia with the gorillas. Yeah, I was pretty sure I was right about that. Carbon dating BS. Yeah. I mean, there's always a problem with that stuff. I work at a company that was doing experiments with radiated lobsters in the 50s. Wow.
It was this light bulb.
Could be Lobster Man somewhere. So
it's been on for 120 years.
Wow.
I don't think light bulbs was invented 120 years ago.
It goes back to the whole saying, like, they don't make things the way they used to. But it's true.
Yeah, that's another interesting one, Soul Assassin. I've heard those stories too. Yeah, they got long neck dinos in the Congo. The locals talk about them, and they've never heard of dinosaurs till they were shown pictures of them. Sukala said penis sheath on television. It's a lotus flower with a glow around it. I don't believe they are bulbs. They believe the lotus flower brings life or something. Religious symbolism. Possibly, but there's another big problem with that. With the theory of just saying that they didn't have any kind of technology that created artificial light, Curtis. Because when you get down into those tombs and those chambers that they had, and they were doing carvings and paintings in there, they were obviously doing those paintings and everything after this pyramid was assembled. How did they see? How did they see? No light gets down into that temple and parts of that temple at that point. Because there's certain chambers and everything like that literally have no access to any kind of light whatsoever. You can't take a torch down there because as you get down that far, there's no oxygen. Not enough to keep a fire going. So how were they painting the walls? Nobody ever talks about. Plus, if they did have torches and they were using torches and they were pumping air down there, why wasn't the ceiling burned? Did they clean? They get their ladders out and clean the ceilings off after they were done?
Tommy, that's just where they threw the people they didn't like and they were trying to claw their way out and they died. That's not artwork, friend. That's get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I've heard that before too, Time Prophet, that they've mixed up the bones. Yep. They did the best job that they could put them together, but they weren't exactly sure. Extremely low wattage. Oh yeah, that one bulb that's still going. A tungsten wire. Being silenced the lockway. Yeah, right. I mean, look what they did to Tesla. Tesla wanted to create free energy for everybody. With
well, look at it this way. If that one bulb lasted 120 years, we should all be fucking pissed by how many light bulbs in the, 5 generations I've gone through.
You ever see this video where they explain how deep the ocean is?
No.
Yeah, bulbs are. It is the metal between them, and so if you get real strong metal in that, you can make them last like years and years. But
well,
they were extremely masculine and didn't need oxygen. It's in Rambo 5.
Directed by James Cameron.
I don't trust accepted knowledge on dinosaurs at all. I hear you. I'm sure that they've gotten a lot of things wrong. I mean, they talk about, now right there. I was just going to mention that Tyrannosaurus are more closely related to birds. Yeah, that's their latest one right there. I mean, who knows for sure? They will never know positively. I don't think. Not unless they get that time machine. I mean, it's pretty interesting. I mean, there is a lot of marvelous and spectacular things in this world, and people are only guessing at some of them. They don't know for certain. And
well, people laugh about James Cameron, but he's got a pair of balls to get down there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the chicken. Yeah. And you know what the problem is? That is, somebody's doing like some kind of DNA testing of some sort, and they're trying to figure out a way to bring a T-Rex back. Oh, boy.
There was a documentary I was watching where they said Cameron and somebody else were sitting on the deck in a sub when 9/11 happened because they were doing talks about the movies and shit. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, Troll, even if you say that there was enough oxygen in getting to those deeper levels and recesses of those pyramids, once again, the ceiling should have smoke and ash on it, and it doesn't. That's a big problem. T-Rex at KFC. We're going to make T-Rexes. He's going to solve the world's hunger problem. Scientists say the universe is expanding. Well, how do we know that when the Earth is traveling in an elliptic orbit in the Milky Way galaxy? How do they know if the Earth is heading toward or away?
We supposedly know more about space than we do the ocean.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. Well, you look at light emitting diodes. I mean, they release light and they last extremely long. I mean, more than likely your car is going to burn out and give out before the light emitting diodes for your idiot lights do.
I never really worried about the sea. I figured if God was that worried about us, we'd have gills.
As long as you're not a gay frog, I suppose. Time prophet.
Right.
Focus. Facts, CJH. Facts. That's what Trina says. Deeper go in the ocean, the bigger the animals get. Yeah. What those sharks? What the hell are they called? Oh god damn. Something green, something. Damn it. Oh balls. It was like another classification of shark that they didn't know about. Not counting LEDs, old-fashioned light bulbs. Yeah. No, I know. I'm just making a comparison. So is everywhere in those tombs? I've never seen any photographic evidence of it. Then there's also things about you got to remember everybody that did stuff in those pyramids. They changed a lot of the murals and everything that were on the wall. Like a lot of those murals, yeah, apparently pictured almost everybody with hard-ons and shit like that, and they changed all that.
Yeah.
Titanic sunk close to the land. Yeah, they could have swam for it.
They're masculine men. They
Okay,
could have swam to it.
Yeah.
Now I wonder why the chat my streams can't be as intelligent as this discussion. I'm usually fried when I stream. It's like they didn't even try. Yeah, right. They should have tried. The Greenland shark. Thank you. I knew it was green something. I just couldn't think of what it was. Yeah, that's yeah. And that thing is a lot bigger than a lot of the other sharks that they found, and they didn't even know about this thing. And it happened during, I think it was like one of the Shark Week things that they were doing. I mean, they found that Gremlin shark and a bunch of other really weird looking sharks that they didn't even know existence, and they have no clue what's in the ocean. I mean, they explored less of the ocean than they have of space and shit.
I don't think the megalodon is down there though, because it would have surfaced at least.
I don't think that there's big enough food source for it to survive, quite honestly, at this point. Because if there were a bunch of megalodons still swim in the ocean, there'd be a lot more whales just disappearing.
I think it probably just shrunk into the great white that we know now.
I wouldn't trust anything an Egyptologist would say. They buried chambers way back in the early days just to be paid to re-uncover them. They're still scamming and hide shit to this day. Yeah, Vinny's talked about some of that shit as well. There's a lot of shady mofos doing that shit in
weren't
Egypt.
the pyramids like surrounded by grass and trees at one point?
Yeah, I think that's what they did say. Yeah, and most pyramids usually had a channel going out to the Nile. At least the bigger ones did. The Sphinx had a nose. Yeah, the Sphinx had a whole face. At one time. Yeah, it had a whole face, and I forget which pharaoh they believe it was, but they've also found a couple of smaller sphinxes sitting in the freaking water off the coastline. And those ones almost have the entire face on them, almost. One time they actually said that they believed that there was 2 sphinxes guarding the pyramid. And they think the other one was completely destroyed or something. Mm-hmm. It's really interesting stuff to think about. I mean, we know really so little about it, and they're only really just scratching the surface. Like when they talk about pyramids were supposed to be tombs, if there were tombs, why didn't they really uncover any kind of bodies in the tombs? And everything was usually, it was like, oh God, where they started interring all the pharaohs and everything.
probably just got lost in the maze in there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the myth was Napoleon shot off the nose. Yeah, I think it was actually before Napoleon, because I'm sure the Romans weren't extra nice to the Egyptian when they first rolled in and say we were taking over. Oh, the Hashwari guy. Yeah, totally missed my joke. Sphinx's face was that of the Great Guinea. Well, that depends, because if it's Cringer, then it would have a flatter face, and it's not too far off.
Time Prophet said the Sphinx has no nose. It smells terrible.
Yeah, I know. But I was making a real assertion over top of the joke.
Here we go, Tommy. I'm going to show you a real masculine toy, which I want, but it's a custom, so I'll have to make it myself. But check that out.
It's Mr. Bean.
Well, that's what you would say if you haven't seen Person of Interest. It's Mr. Reese, not Mr. Bean. But John Reese, yeah. John Reese. Jim Caviezel's character in the show Person of Interest. I'm not telling the show, but Greg Kelly's show. But yeah, apparently though, he made this out of an MM Joker thug. And so, like, yeah, he must have painted it up and all that. Oh, yeah.
Solar Sphinx originally looked like Eddie from Iron Maiden. Yeah, Time Prophet. What people don't realize is Sphinx has a shopping center and gift shops on the other side. How big is the shopping center? Person of Interest versus John Wick. Now, who's doing that one? ACC. Oh, custom figures. Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to look for the figure that is based. Like, I think he's just got a Joker figure and painted it up, but
I don't know. It doesn't really look like a Joker figure. I mean, because it's got like a suit. I'm trying to think of who would have a suit like that. I would almost want to say like a Constantine or something like that, but I don't think he ever had a jacket exactly like that, unless you're talking about the movie Constantine.
yeah, no, it's not the Joker. It's one of his thugs because it says here it's made from a MM Joker thug. But,
oh, okay, a Joker thug. Okay.
Yeah, and a modded ML Wonder Man head. Some sculpture.
Marvel Legends.
Right, yeah. Right, Marvel Legends Wonder Man head. Some sculpt and a custom paint job. I don't know if he's like.
Well, no, Time Prophet. That's why I asked how big it is, because I guarantee.
Well, it says here,
I guarantee they're making loads of money off that shit. Oh. I'm sorry, Jens. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it says here 6 inches. That's how big this.
What do you think of those hyper real action figures?
Some of them are really nice. My biggest problem with a lot of those is they're expensive as shit.
Yeah. They're kind of creepy, though. It's like, because they are so realistic.
Now, Vinny has a few when we've done some of the toy streams, and he showed off like the Godfather and a few of the other ones. Like, holy shit, are those things like realistic looking? They're really, really detailed and everything, but the cost, I can't justify the cost for something like that myself. Yeah, the Joker one. Yeah. Those things are crazy detailed. The shit that they could do with some of these things now is just, it's amazing. I mean, this guy's just taking like some of the cheaper figures and making a little custom figure. I guarantee he's probably charging a lot for it. That's usually the way those custom guys work. Time Prophet says, I want a Yen's action figure that goes fucking ill every time he pushes head.
I'll show you the one that Jens wants.
Where's the Burn Notice action figures? Yeah, right.
Jens
wants no!
Well, because it's wearing a skirt, that is classed as a doll.
Take care, Trina. Action figures versus figurines. Yeah. And action figures versus dolls, right? All right, guys. I am going to wrap this up. Because the stream got started so late, I actually got other things that I got to run and do now. I am falling way behind on my entire day now because of this shit. Hopefully I have no more problems with this computer, and as soon as I get everything worked out, I'm going to be switching over to my new tower because I've just about had enough of this one. I'm tired of wondering if this tower is going to turn on or not. I mean, it's bad enough that I deal with the shitty internet company, then have to worry about the tower freaking dying out on me too. Like, yeah, this is getting to be too damn much. But I'm going to look through the rest of the comments real quick. They kind of keep stuff out of Robert's Falls stores, loose blocks. Yeah, I've heard some of that stuff. I just don't buy them as tombs. I mean, it's just. I mean, most of the time, these damn tombs took more than a lifetime to build. So if they were a tomb meant for a pharaoh, why would a pharaoh hope that the tomb would be built, the pyramid be built before he died? Because sometimes they weren't.
They were probably already built, and they just added to it.
Now, some of these ones were actually being started during Pharaoh's reigns. So, I mean, yeah, they weren't always completed in time. So I think the idea that they were tombs is just nonsense. It makes absolutely zero sense. Anything you could eat. All right, Tree Rock, take care. Soul Assassin says, Jens Stradamus says, action figures over dolls. Both are the same. Grow up, yo, Yankees.
No, an action figure is a dude sort of like with trousers on. Any action figure that's got a skirt on is classed as a doll action figure.
I'm waiting for the Alec Baldwin action figure.
Girls will right.
Tree gun.
Right. It accidentally goes off.
You know, if girls see an action figure with long hair and a skirt, they're going to presume it's a doll.
It's not a doll. It's an action figure. Time
well,
looking better than you power switch. No, it's the tower. The tower's going. Moving body was in concern and prevent robberies. I don't buy it. I don't buy that they were tombs. Exactly. If the pyramids were tombs, then why'd they have the Valley of the Kings? I just don't buy that they were tombs. But anyway, guys, thank you all so much for being here. Every last one of you. I know we got an extremely late start, and the fact that you guys hung around, you asked about me, and had Trina reach out to me, I guess, maybe Trina just did it out of concern because I was so late. And Jesus, I just can't believe it. My apologies for it happening. Hopefully this will not happen again. Hopefully the next time I stream, hopefully I'll have the new tower hooked up. We'll see how things go. If not, maybe I'll just have to leave my tower running 24/7 in the hopes that it doesn't shut down again. So,
gotta do the Jens outro.
Oh yeah, we're going to definitely hit the Jens outro. Matter of fact, we'll give Jens his outro first. Jens.
Well, he don't know talking good like me and you, so his vocabularistics is limited.
Yeah, well, I can watch a lot of action films and Stallone's vocabulary like not all that good. But anyway, yeah, I've got a YouTube channel and I need to do this review of Extraction 2 so I can do a review of Sound of Freedom. So hopefully I'll have it done before I stream tomorrow, which will be sort of like round about this time. Could be 45 minutes before or like an hour and 15 minutes later, sort of thing from this time. But 2 o'clock, between 12 and 2, Greenwich Mean Time. And I've got a Twitter account at 27A Pedersen.
Thanks for being on, Jens. Appreciate it.
Yeah, get others do it.
All right, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to give it to this man right here.
I am gravely disappointed. Again, you have made me unleash my dogs of war.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, man. So I was streaming prior to yours, waiting on you to go live. So I just kept mine going when you went live and was sharing you out on my channel. So
I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
I was having a blast, but dude, I got hit by Facebook again. They shut me down for an hour and it made no sense. And it was like, oh, at 1:56, your account will be shut down in an hour. Like, dude, it's like 4 o'clock. Anyway, that's what I was doing, just bitching, ranting, and raving, and killing time. And then, yeah, man, I seen you. We're waiting on you to go live, so it's okay. Every now and again, Guinea Pig needs to take a little break. But yeah, man, see me in the chat here coming up shortly on Etepiculian's Place to Be reviews for the Monday night fun extravaganza that's about to be taking place. You know, with the Horsemen, as always, every Monday night, going in raw, baby. And then, yeah, man, other than that, you know, every now and again, I might throw a stream up as well, but you'll catch me with Vinny and Tommy and, you know, all the wonderful places you should be. So thanks again, Tommy. It was a blast, brother. And hopefully everything will be all right with the PC. If not, we'll get you fixed one way or another, brother.
Yeah, I mean, usually, and this is why when I slept a little bit later than I should, this is what really screwed me up, because usually I get up early enough that if I'm having problems with the PC starting, it doesn't affect the start of the show. So this is 100% my fault by sleeping later than I should have. So, I mean, it doesn't help that the computer didn't start up, but I should have been up earlier to make sure the damn thing was already up and going. So, I mean, I'm blaming myself mostly for that one. So, of course, we got CJH.
Very interesting. I see your hobbies are drinking, smoking weed, and all types of ill shit.
Well, this little gift right here is an example of what I'm trying to do with my channel. Revive it.
Other than that, what you got going on? Let the people know, CJ.
Well, like I said, I'm trying to revive my channel to bring back live streaming and all that. So you can see me over at the CJH Entertainment.
Awesome. Hey, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, long time no talk.
Yeah, I'm always around. And usually the Monday streams are open panels, and anybody who's willing and able to put up with me and come on panel is allowed to. So there's very few people that are not allowed up here, and those few jackasses usually don't come around my channel to begin with. So, guys. It's best just to stay away before they get nibbled. Please leave the guinea pigs a like, everyone. Thank you, Lurch Troll. Appreciate that. Try changing the files in your computer. Well, I would, but I've been having a problem with coal and getting the steam to fire up for the computer. I mean, surely you understand how that goes, Time Prophet. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate it, and thanks for putting up for the tardiness of this stream, man. I still had a blast hanging out with every last one of you. Remember, never let anybody tell you what you can or can't say, what you should or should not think, because your compliance and your silence gives consent. And we will catch you next time. Have a good one, everyone. Later.
Bye.
Forget the big distribution spent. Assimilated, but you don't know it yet. Attacking us is not very wise. Our army's growing if we see through your lies.
What we are looking at, good and evil, right and wrong. It's a big world order. A big world order. A big world order. A big world order. Somebody's gonna want to get their toes nibbled off in here. A big world order. 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 Better hide your toes as we're coming for. A big world order. A big world order. A big world order.